Right, guys, we're back. This is Rio Reacts. It is England Euro 2024 squad announcement yesterday. We've had time to settle down, let the dust settle, and where are we at with it? Big calls from Gareth Southgate. Obviously, we've seen the squad that's out and announced, and we've got the likes of Grealish, Maddison, Braithwaite. You got these Maguire. These guys have been told they're not going. The obvious young ones, I think, when you look at it, they don't go. But I think the big names like um, Grealish is an interesting one because he hasn't played many games, but he's on the back of a treble-winning season last year. Then plays so many fewer games. Doku comes in, makes it more difficult for him, and you look at it and you go, "Wow, £100 million player isn't on the plane." I wasn't a £100 million player, never was. But I didn't go to a couple of Euros for different reasons. But one of them, I was just told, listen, this isn't for you. So I know that feeling. I know the anticipation of getting that call or the knock on your door. Kevin Keegan done that to me. The door knocks and you go, because you were sitting there in hope. I'll tell you one thing: the guys who didn't go and didn't get picked, I'm 99% sure that they all had an inkling that they weren't going to go. There was something that manager said, something the manager did, something one of his member of staff done, body language of the manager towards you, eye contact or a lack of it. These little things, all these players would have picked up on and come to their own conclusions at some point and gone, you know what? I didn't expect to go. I wanted to go, obviously, but deep down, I knew he weren't going to pick me. And I think again, your immediate reaction as a player is of huge disappointment, gutted. I think I saw the comments of Maddison and Harry Maguire. Those two especially, you see, they obviously got a great love for playing for their country, like everybody. But their emotions, you could see coming through the messages they put out on social media. But forget about individuals. I think my immediate reaction is that there's a lot of inexperience in centre back areas. I think John Stones has got 70-something, 78 caps or something like that. I think there's 19 caps between the rest of them, which isn't great going into a tournament. I think the two centre backs that will start, I'll be surprised if it's not John Stones and Gay. Gay can play on the left hand side. That's where he plays for Palace. Played for England and looked very comfortable before. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't start. But I think in midfield and forward areas, I'm pretty happy. I've got to be honest. I don't think there's much else could have been done. Maddison, I think if he hadn't had a season that he's had where he kind of fell off after his injury and didn't really get back to the form that he started the season with, if that season had been flipped round and he finished how he started, Maddison is one of the first names going because he was phenomenal beginning of the season. And I'm sad for him really, and I agree with him. He does bring something different a little bit to the others. He has that guile and that delivery that he has from central areas. So I'll be disappointed if I was him. I think obviously Harry Maguire, the decision's taken out of the manager's hands. Really injured, can't play, and then Grealish obviously, which is a mad one. But that's the problem area as well. I think the manager's gone right. Gordon's going to play. If Gordon's fit, I think Gordon plays now, unless he's going to play someone else there. I don't know. Who could he play there? Palmer could play Foden there. He may end up playing Foden there, and it all depends how the midfield shapes out. So there's a lot of question marks still, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how that finishes. Guys, we've got some great stuff coming. We've got some wicked interviews with different people. The most recent one we've got, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's an interview with Roberto Martinez, the current Portugal manager. Used to be Belgian manager, so he's looked after Lukaku, De Bruyne, etc., Hazard. And now he's gone to a squad that's full of absolute superstars. We've got João Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, Bruno Fernandes, Dallo, like Rafael Leao. Like this list goes on and on. The depth he has is truly extraordinary. So they're a team I'm looking at to try and I would back them as one of the four favourites for this tournament. If you had four teams to choose, they'd be probably the fourth on my list after Germany, after in order France, England, Germany, and I go Portugal. So let's make sure you go and look at the interview because the guy's got so much to say about the absolutely ridiculous talent that he has managed. And also, if you're not subscribing, press the button, subscribe, turn notifications on, and we'll hit you with everything this summer. Plus, we've got the Euros. Never mind what we've got the Euros coming and we are out there in full effect, live and direct. You're going to be getting loads of stuff from us while we're out there. But back to the England squad. I also saw something from Declan Rice as well, talking about missing two of his best pals in the squad and stuff. It's a lot to be said for that. And I'm sure Gareth would have been thinking about, is leaving X, Y, or Z player out, is that going to have an impact on the squad because of their personality and their connection? But I do take that into account, but I think you've got to go for who's going to give me the best output on the pitch. And I see someone like Declan, he'll be a former friendship, I'm sure, with someone else. Mason Mount, his mate's not there. Grealish and Maddison, obviously, two good friends of his. But listen, when you go there, you sometimes become friends with people you never imagined that you'd spend time with, as you start spending time with different people as well, which is good. But England's camaraderie and the vibes in the squad, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's getting out the right players in the right position to perform best for England as a team. That is the big question mark for this team now. Who plays on the left? I'd probably go Gordon right now. I think the manager's going to play Foden on the left. I don't necessarily agree with that because I don't think that's his best position. But it's going to be interesting. We've got probably one of the top goal scorers in Europe in Harry Kane up front as a captain. We've got one of the most lethal, consistent, I think, over the last couple of years, right wingers in Saka. We've got Jude Bellingham just off the back of winning the double with European champions as well with Real Madrid. Influential season. He's had a remarkable, unforeseen, unheard of breakout season for Real Madrid. Got Declan Rice marshalling in front, who's been one of the most consistent midfielders in the league this year. Got John Stones' experience and what he's meant to the most dominant team in the Premier League in recent years. And you've got Kyle Walker, who I think is a cheat code. He is a cheat code in today's game. If he plays, he locks down 99% of the time the winger he's playing against. So yeah, we've got players of influence there. You've got Cole Palmer, what a season he's had for Chelsea. Is he going to feature? Is he going to get minutes? Scores a penalty again on his debut. The kid's in ridiculous form. Do you let him go out there and play? Do you say, actually, as good as Phil Foden is in midfield, I'm going to push Foden to the left wing because I've got someone else who can step in that central area who could be as impactful? Will the manager do that? Will he go for more of a solid midfield if you don't play Phil in there and play Declan, Kobe Mainoo and Jude Bellingham, which gives you more stability, more midfield-like than having the flair, a bit more flair of a Foden or a Palmer maybe? Loads of these questions are going to be answered. I can't wait. I've got to be honest with you. And it always happens in a tournament. The manager takes a little view on an injury and goes, you know what, is there an importance for this player? This player, what's the upside for him? Is there more upside if I get him there and he plays at some point after the first two games maybe? And that's Luke Shaw. And it's because the manager doesn't feel we've got many other left backs to choose from. He's gambled now with Luke Shaw's fitness. He's got Trippier, I think he's going to start the games there initially. But if Luke Shaw becomes fit and available, I think he goes straight back in and plays. And gives us that little bit of extra balance. And that's why I maybe thought Branthwaite may get a chance, Branthwaite, because of that left foot. But the manager thought he was a bit too inexperienced maybe, which is fine. They've gone so close. They've got to a final and they've got to a semis in the last two tournaments. This is a huge tournament for Gareth Southgate. I think we need to get minimum semis, but I think it'd probably be seen as a disappointment just to get to the semis even. That's how well he's done. That's how well this England team has done. I think it's interesting to see also, where's Eze going to fit in? Eze's, the way he moves, he's silky. International football seems like it suits him as well. He can slow the tempo down and speed it up. Eze, there's players that you look at. That's why Jack Grealish was maybe a little surprised why I'm surprised why he didn't go. The manager knows him. He talks about trusting players and that history he has with players. Jack hasn't played enough games this season, I know. But I do think he's a player who's suited to international football, can draw people in, can draw fouls, can take time on the ball, which creates other space for other players. And at that level, you need to do a bit of that. It's going to be interesting. But Eze's an interesting one for me because I would maybe try and find a place in this team for him as well. That left-hand side might be something to try out. The kid's just got it. He's a cage footballer at heart who knows how to beat people with ease anywhere he plays, anywhere on the pitch. When you've got people like that who can open the game, that's why it's great that he's got Eze, he's got Palmer, he's got Foden. Do you know what I mean? Saka. There's 4 players there. I must be missing. Even Kobe Mainoo can do it, where they can beat people. And more to the point, Foden, Palmer, and Mainoo, they can do it from central areas. That's where, as an opposing defender, your eyes light up and go, whoa, and not lighting up for the right reasons. You're thinking, oh no, where he can go anywhere now. Once a player opens up in midfield and beats someone, you're almost at their mercy because there's so many options for that player in central areas. That's why Yaya Toure was so devastating. He could break you from central areas. When Kevin De Bruyne does it, they beat the tackle, ride a tackle, beat the press with a bit of individual skill and flair, head up, and then they can execute that play. That's where Foden's, I think, separates himself from many others in that little area. So yeah, it's going to be really good. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to get there. Me and the 5 team will be there. We'll be seeing everyone out there. We're joining in with the fans, going to some of the fan parks and stuff, trying out the local food, the local beer, I'm sure. All right. We will be there doing that. But yeah, man, my last and final thought, I've got to be honest, goes out to the players that missed out. Because like I said, I've been in a squad where I've been a young kid who didn't expect to go, but went in 98. But then in 2000, I probably expected to go, but didn't go. Because Kevin Keegan saw fit to bring somebody else in wrongly, it proved. Yeah, though it's a tough time for those guys now because the Grealishes of this world and the Maddisons especially, those 2 would have been thinking to themselves, I should be on that plane. They'll be backing themselves. They have that character, that personality that, yeah, I back myself in any situation. I should be there. But Jack done an advert for mayonnaise around the Euros, so he's fully expected to go, but I've been there and it isn't a nice feeling. And the biggest thing is you just want to go away and hide, man. And I went away and hid in Ayia Napa. I went straight to Ayia Napa, I think. I went with all my mates and just lost myself for a few days, for probably about a week. Went bananas. And I ended up watching a few games while I was out there, and it was embarrassing a little bit because your ego takes a huge battering, your pride. All of these players have got big egos. We have. That's how you live and breathe. And you don't ever want to be let down. You don't want to feel like you're being pushed to the side by anybody. And that's what happened. So these guys will be hurting. I don't think the younger guys, Bramthwaite, might have thought he could have a chance because he's left-footed, but he really didn't expect to go at any point in the season. Quansah as well. You look at those guys and you go, they're happy to just be there and be around the squad, knowing that next season, whatever happens, I'm going to try and get myself in there and I won't ever miss out on a flight again. That's how they got to see it. So thoughts go out to the guys that don't go. Jack, knuckle down, man. That's what I've done as well. Went away for a week and then absolutely threw myself into training. Then that 3 months later, Leeds signed me for a world record fee. Because I just thought, you know what, lose myself for a week or so, get my head down, train like an animal, get the new season underway and show the manager, Gareth, you was absolutely wrong. No 2 ways about it. You were wrong not to pick me because look at me now. That's what you need to do. That's got to be the incentive for these guys. But anyway, England, we will be there behind you. We'll be singing it home, hopefully, bringing home that trophy. I can't wait to go and take in some of these games. Yes, live. We've got loads of stuff out there. We've got our own studio out in Germany, by the way, guys. So be tuning in to us. We'll be live from there, tuning back to you and filling you in with all the gossip, what's going on, what the food's like, what the people are like, what the atmosphere is like, and obviously reactions to games and moments throughout the tournament. So make sure you stay tuned, guys. See you soon.